Chaotically Nerdy is made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults for adults and children with bad parents. Adult language will be used and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On today's episode, we've got your host, Tyler, your host,
Jarrett,
and your host,
Ethan.
Hey, he did it right this time.
Hi.
fucking loser.
I gave you a second because I knew you were going to do something. On today's episode, we are going to talk about my second favorite class.
The best
Probably
class.
really my favorite class, but it's the Paladin. It's the Holy Knight. It's the good boys.
It's like the holy grail of D&D classes.
Yes. It is I think it's important to note that you do not have to be lawful good to play this class.
That's a thing of the past.
Yeah, people fall into this category of, I have to be lawful good. Nope, you don't. You just have to follow your tenets. And a lot of the tenets don't make you lawful good.
They also don't have to worship a deity.
That is true.
Not anymore. Fuck your
Because
gods.
as long as you follow your tenets, you have power. Your code is so strong that you have gained magical powers.
That's true.
Okay, let's hop right into it. Class features. Fuck. It's me. You wanted it, didn't you?
It's my favorite class.
I think it's all of our favorite classes.
It is.
Like, I say Monk's my favorite class, but I think that's just the class features.
Fighter's still my favorite.
The subclass is just hard to... Like, this one's good all around. You can pick good subclasses to make up for... My God, are you having a stroke?
No.
I mean, we can get you to the hospital if you need to. All right, so if you take Paladin, you get 1d10 for your hit points per Paladin level, obviously. Proficiencies, you get all armor and shields. You are also proficient in simple weapons and martial weapons, and no tool proficiencies, and your saving throws are wisdom and charisma. You get to choose 2 from athletics, insight, intimidation, medicine, persuasion, and religion. We're not talking about the equipment, so you get divine sense. The presence of a strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor, and powerful good rings like heavenly music in your ears. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces. Until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. You know the type of any being whose presence you sense, but not its identity. So, like, you can't know that it's Strahd. Essentially how that's worded.
You just know it's a vampire.
Yep. Within the same radius, you can also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, as with the Hollow spell. You can use this feature a number of times equal to 1 plus your charisma modifier, and when you finish a long rest, you regain all expended uses.
You know what I think of when I think of divine sense now? Because of TikTok? Uh-oh, stinky. That's what I think of because it says noxious odor.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't like it, but I'll allow
I
it.
can't help it. I don't really like it either. I just think of it when I hear it now.
I'm disappointed.
So also when you take Paladin, you get lay on hands. Your blessed touch can heal wounds. You get to touch people. You have a pool of healing power that replenishes when you take a long rest. With that pool, you can restore a total number of hit points equal to your Paladin level times 5. As an action, you can touch a creature and draw power from the pool to restore a number of hit points to that creature, up to the maximum amount remaining in your pool. Alternatively, you can spend 5 hit points from your pool of healing to cure the target of 1 disease or neutralize 1 poison affecting it. You can cure multiple diseases as long as you have the points necessary. Has no effect on undead or constructs. At second level, you get a fighting style. You can't take it more than once. No, these are different.
Well, it's just you get less, and then like fighters gets all of them.
Well, I haven't seen Blessed Warrior and Blind Fighting before. That's why it threw me for a loop.
Those are Tasha's new.
Okay, so they were recently added. That's why I haven't played a Paladin in a hot minute. So Blessed Warrior, you can learn 2 cantrips of your choice from the Cleric spell list. They count as Paladin spells, and Charisma is your spellcasting ability for them. Whenever you gain a level in this class, you can replace one of the cantrips with another cantrip from this Cleric spell list. Blind Fighting, you have Blind Sight with a range of 10 feet. Within that range, you can effectively see... Yeah, it's Blind Sight. I mean, I'm not going to cover that. Defense, you get the +1 bonus to your AC while you're wearing armor, which why wouldn't you be because you're a paladin. Dueling, when you're wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons, you gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls. Great weapon fighting, which when you roll a 1 or 2 and you're using a two-handed weapon, you can re-roll that. Or, well, has to be a great weapon. You all right?
I had a hiccup.
Okay. Interception, when a creature you can see hits a target other than you within 5 feet of you with an attack, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage of that target by 1d10 plus your proficiency bonus. You must be wielding a shield or a simple or martial weapon to use this reaction. Protection is the last option. When a creature you can see attacks a target other than you that is with at with y'all get that?
Who's having a stroke now?
It's me. When a creature you can see attacks a target other than you that is within 5 feet of you, you can use a reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll, and you must be wielding a shield.
I have a question before we go on.
Okay.
Because that's the last of those, right?
Yes.
All right. So with dueling, right? Since it's +2 if you're not wielding another weapon.
Yep,
That works with shields.
it does. It's
It
for
does.
sword and board fighters.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've had that question come up a lot with other people asking me. It's like, does this work with that? Like, yes, absolutely.
Because the shield's not a weapon.
Just want to make sure to
Everybody
clarify
knows.
that.
Gotcha.
Everybody has to know that.
So at second level, you get spellcasting. Again, we're not going to go over that because we're going to have an episode later where we talk about all of the spellcasting.
I think it's just important to note they are prepared casters, just like clerics and druids.
So they do know they are. I
Yep.
forget that every time because typically you pick your spells and you kind of just move on.
And paladins are also half casters, so
Yeah.
they only get up to 5th level spells.
Yes. At second level, because you didn't get enough, you get Divine Smite, which will be your most used ability.
That definitely.
Makes the spellcasting completely superfluous.
Yeah. Yeah, I could honestly not have to even think about adding the spells. Just
yeah.
give me the Divine Smite.
Definitely.
So when you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you can expend 1 spell slot to deal radiant damage to the target. In addition to the weapons damage, the extra damage is 2d8 for a first level spell slot plus 1d8 for each spell level higher than first, to a maximum of 5d8. The damage increases by 1d8 if the target is undead or fiend to a maximum of 6d8. So that's great.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
literally one of the most useful abilities in the entire game.
I was telling Ethan this before we got started. If they made Paladin now, like as a new class, this is the ability that everybody would go, that's too fucking strong. It's OP.
Absolutely.
Get rid of it. It's so good.
I think if they made it now, they'd probably tone it down some.
They would.
It would be a d6 instead of d8.
And you probably have to declare it beforehand.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the spells.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you do get smites for spells, and you have to use those beforehand.
Yeah.
At third level, you get Divine Health. It makes you immune to disease. You also get your Sacred Oath, which is your subclass. We'll talk about those in a minute. You get your ability score improvements at 4th, 8th, 12th, 16th, and 19th. Do we think of any feats that go specifically with?
Any martial feat, generally speaking, but especially because you are a paladin, you are a front line, generally speaking, and getting there is important. Alert is definitely
Yes.
like the top one for me.
I'm also a fan of Fey Touched because it gives you a free use of Misty Step, and then you can get anher
It's
low level spell.
It's on
Yeah.
the same plane of thought with
Just
being
more
in position.
mobility.
Yep.
Yep.
At 5th level, you get extra attack. At sixth level, you get Aura of Protection. Whenever you or a friendly creature within 10 feet of you must make a saving throw, the creature gains a bonus to the saving throw equal to your Charisma modifier. You must be conscious to grant this bonus. And at 18th level, that Aura increases to 30 feet.
Ridiculous. It's wonderful.
This is the other half of that. Like, if they made it now, this would not happen.
Yeah.
You just don't get a flat bonus.
Yeah. And then Aura of Courage. Friendly creatures within 10 feet of you can't be frightened. And at 18th level, again, that one goes out to 30 feet. At 11th level, you get Improved Divine Smite. You are so suffused with Righteous Might that all your melee weapon strikes carry divine power with them. Whenever you hit a creature with a melee weapon, the creature takes an extra 1d8 radiant damage. So you just get the Divine Smite to start with. You hit it with even more Divine Smites because why the fuck wouldn't you? You're damaged.
At this point, you're probably doing like, 78 on like a full power smite.
Oh, absolutely.
7 or 8 d8.
Yeah.
With this, like alone, so far, no subclass added at all, is one of the most damage dealing things
Oh,
in
absolutely.
the game.
And then you add subclasses that give you shit on top of it.
Amazing.
Yeah. At 14th level, you get Cleansing Touch. You can use your action to end one spell on yourself or on one willing creature that you touch. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your Charisma modifier, and you regain it whenever you finish a long rest. And at 18th level, again, you get the aura improvements. They both go out to 30. And I mean, so that's a really good start. So just like everything else, we're not going to talk about every single subclass. If you want us to talk about more, hit us up in the Discord or even on Facebook and say, hey, you guys didn't cover my favorite ones because somehow we missed the 5 favorite ones that you had, basically.
And I'd be like, you're fucking wrong, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, you won't because you won't say shit in the Discord, but
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'll think it.
me and Ethan might.
I mean, there's one we're not going to cover that's in Unearthed Arcana that's my favorite. So,
Yeah.
Treachery's a lot of fun.
So let's jump into it. We got Oath of Conquest. We are going to talk about that, and Jarrett's going to tell us about Conquest.
Yes.
Hold on. Before you do that, I think we should talk about the fact. I know. Sorry. I'm getting a real dirty look right now. So I think that it's important to note that
How fucking dare you?
I feel like Paladin is, when you take a subclass, it helps. Like if you're not good at role playing, this helps put you more into role playing because it gives you even more to follow along with than just your ideals, bonds, and
Yeah,
everything
it
else.
gives
that
you a
you
whole
get.
nother set of like role play points to jump off from.
Yes.
Well, not only that, but like, I feel like Paladin itself is cohesive and well put together. It functions towards the goal that it sets out to do. And I think every class should feel that way prior to receiving your subclass.
Yeah.
And I think most classes fall far behind on that, and they don't have enough
And
flavor
you
for
have to
themselves.
have the subclass to feel like you have flavor.
Yeah, and I feel like the classes need to be more like Paladin in that way to feel more complete.
Yep. I just thought it was important to note that if you're not a very good role player and you want to try to be better at it, Paladin's a good pick.
And don't be afraid of the spellcasting if you're worried about the stuff, because
You don't have to.
You don't have to use the spells.
You literally just have to keep up with the spell slots.
Yeah, which is just a resource management at that point.
Yep.
Just checking a box.
Yep. All right, now take us into Conquest. Sorry about
You
that.
want me to read the tenets while we're...
Yeah, I think so. I think that's important to note, like, because that's where they get their power from. They have to follow their code.
You don't have to follow them, but
Well,
Well,
it's really fun to do so because it provides constraints on your character.
and depending on your DM, they may make you change classes if you don't.
True.
tenets of conquest. A paladin that takes us
What in the
out.
fucking middle of an episode of DBZ was that?
We all have to do it now.
Yeah.
Tenets. All right, fair enough. Well, I'll go for it. I'm in.
A paladin who takes this oath
Oh, not the whole way. Fuck.
has the tenets of conquest seared on their upper arm. Douse the flame of hope. It is not enough to merely defeat an enemy in battle. Your victory must be so overwhelming that your enemies will to fight is shattered forever. A blade can end a life. Fear can end an empire. Rule with an iron fist. Once you have conquered, tolerate no dissent. Your word is law. Those who obey it shall be favored. Those who defy it shall be punished as an example to all who might follow. Strength above all. You shall rule until a stronger one arises. Then you must grow mightier and meet the challenge or fall to your own ruin.
I don't know why, but my dyslexia kicked in, and when you read meat, I read it as MEAT. And I was like, that does not make any fucking
That's
sense.
the course coming out of you.
You know what these tenets remind me of? For a secure society.
Fucking hate you.
It's Palpatine. I mean,
It's
this is Sith.
Palpatine.
It's Sith feel right here.
I believe in the Unearthed Arcana, this was the Oath of the Empire or something like
Yeah.
that, or something.
Makes
It was
sense.
conquest. It was like a little on the nose.
Very on the nose.
Your oath spells, you get it for being a Oath of Conquest Paladin. You get Armor of Agathis at 3rd level, along with Command. You get Hold Person and Spiritual Weapon at 5th, Bestow Curse and Fear at 9th, Dominate Beast and Stone Skin at 13th, and Cloud Kill and Dominate Person at 17th. This is all about just subjugation, just
Control.
controlling the will of your enemies.
Oh, it's wonderful. Yeah.
It's a really good spell list. I really like it.
I do too.
Channel Divinity. every paladin gets a channel divinity you can use once per short rest. I think long rest. I don't know.
think it depends on.
No, you get a channel divinity use.
Well, I'll look it up. You keep reading.
Conquering presence. You can use your channel divinity to exude a terrifying presence. As an action, you can force each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, a creature becomes frightened of you for 1 minute. The frightened creature can repeat its saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on success.
Short rest.
Short rest. That's what I thought.
It says short or long rest, which means short rest.
Yeah.
The channel divinity for cleric is a long rest, but you have charges.
Yeah, you get like multiple.
Yeah, you get 2.
So
And
that's
then it
where
goes
that's
up.
where it gets confusing.
Yeah, because they're the same thing but slightly different.
You also have every paladin gets 2 different channel divinity options that you can use your one of short rest channel divinity on. I don't know if I mentioned that. So your second one is guided strike. You can use your channel divinity to strike with supernatural accuracy. You can, when you make an attack roll, you can use your channel divinity to gain a +10 bonus to the roll. You make the choice after you see the roll, but before the DM says whether you hit or not. So it's literally just the war domains extra boost, but much more useful on a paladin.
Yeah.
At 7th level, you have Aura of Conquest. You constantly emanate a menacing aura while you're not incapacitated. The aura exudes 10 feet from with you in every direction, but not through total cover. If a creature is frightened of you, its speed is reduced to 0, and while in the aura, the creature takes psychic damage equal to half your paladin level at the start of its turns. At 18th level, like all the other auras, they increase it to 30 feet.
Which is that's really good.
Yeah, this subclass is all about making people afraid of you. So when they're in your aura, they just take a continual damage over time effect.
They're so afraid of you. It hurts.
It's oppressive.
Yeah,
which is really cool because that's what it's meant to do.
Yeah.
Oppress people.
At 15th level, you get Scornful Rebuke. Those who dare strike you are physically punished for their audacity. Whenever a creature hits you with an attack, that creature takes psychic damage equal to your charisma modifier if you're not incapacitated. That's just a nice passive damage. Just like, hit me, I hit you back for 5 damage. Hit me, 5 damage.
It's the Tempest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
And then every Paladin subclass gets a capstone where you get like a super powerful
it's your final form.
transformation, I guess. Almost all of them are a transformation of some sort.
Pretty close to,
So this one is Invincible Conqueror. At 20th level, you gain the ability to harness extraordinary martial prowess. As an action, you can magically become an avatar of conquest, gaining the following benefits for 1 minute. You have resistance to all damage. When you take the attack action in your turn, you can make 1 additional attack as part of that action. And your melee attacks score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20.
It's ridiculous.
It just took a bunch of shit from all the different classes. It's like, here's a little bit of barbarian. Here's a little bit of fighter.
Yeah. It's a nice recipe.
Yeah. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. That's just, really powerful.
It's really powerful.
Yeah. On top of an already powerful class, you just get to go, I kill things.
Yeah. Next up, we're not going to talk about it. Oath of Devotion. You can imagine what the tenets are for that.
This is your lawful good paladin.
Yes. This one that you pretty well have to.
This is the bread and butter paladin that you see in like games and stuff. This is like World of Warcraft paladin. It's everything.
Yep.
It's just basic.
Also, next up is that we're not going to talk about Oath of Glory. They're the people that are doing this because they want the fame, essentially. And it's
interesting. If you'd like us to go over it, we could go over it.
It has a really good spells list.
Yeah. I mean, all of them have pretty good, like, they're very tied into what they are.
None of these are bad.
No.
This is the opposite of when we did Monk,
Yeah.
This is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
None of these are bad.
Where none of the monk ones were really that good. It was, these are ones that we had to kind of not argue about to take them out, but it was harder to.
It was harder to like.
Not want to talk about everything. Yeah. Next up, that we are still not talking about, is the Oath of Redemption. Those are people that. Trying to think
it's a really weird subclass. This is the one I just don't like the most out of all these, because your whole thing is around not attacking as a paladin.
It's supporty.
which is like the antithesis of what a paladin, in my opinion,
Yeah.
should be.
But
I mean,
it's also
like-
very effective.
It is very effective, but I'm like,
But all of your class features lean towards
yeah.
the like their antagonist.
But you could do either one if you wanted.
You could.
Yeah.
And then next up is Oath of the Ancients, which is probably one of, if not the most played
It's really good.
starting. Because, I mean, it's in the player's handbook, so it's easily accessible. They haven't changed anything. Let's see who's going to talk about it. It's me. Ethan, you haven't went yet, have you?
No.
You go.
All right.
It's you. I don't know why I rolled.
Oath of Ancients takes a lot from old school Paladin, from like AD&D and second edition. This is the mage killer. This is the one that's like, mages are bad. You know, that's a really old school D&D thing. Though that is not the flavor they put in there. The flavor they put in there is a lot of this has to do with elvish and fae type things. The tenets for the ancients, tenets of the ancients.
You didn't do it right.
Oh, should I do it? Okay. Tenets of the ancients.
Oh, this is like Omlik from fucking Guardians
Yeah,
of the Temple.
yeah.
I like it.
That one was good.
Yeah.
I'm really afraid to follow any of these up.
They've preserved for uncounted centuries. This oath emphasizes the principles of good above any concerns of law or chaos. Its 4 central principles are simple: kindle the light. Through your acts of mercy, kindness, and forgiveness, kindle the light of hope in the world, beating back despair. Shelter the light. Where there is good, beauty, love, and laughter in the world, stand against the wickedness that would swallow it. Where life flourishes, stand against the forces that would render it barren. Preserve your own light. Delight in song and laughter, in beauty and art. If you allow the light to die in your heart, you can't preserve it in the world. Be the light. Be a glorious beacon for all who live in despair. Let the light of your joy and courage shine forth in all your deeds. I feel really good now. I'm really happy now.
I'm happy.
Yeah, the oath spells for this Oath of Ancients. 3rd level, you gain Ensnaring Strike and Speak with Animals. 5th level, you gain Moonbeam, Misty Step. 9th level, Plant Growth, Protection from Energy. 13th level, Ice Storm, Stone Skin. 17th level is Commune with Nature and Tree Stride.
They all fit with the class.
Yep.
Not the greatest.
It's not my favorite
There's
spell.
a lot of utility in there.
Yeah,
It's-
there's utility, but which again we've talked about paladins. You're not probably going to use too much of those spells.
No.
The 2 channel divinities for Ancients is Nature's Wrath and Turn the Faithless. Nature's Wrath, you can use your channel divinity to invoke primeval forces to ensnare a foe. As an action, you can cause spectral vines to spring up and reach for a creature within 10 feet of you that you can see. The creature must succeed a strength or dexterity saving throw or be restrained. While restrained by the vines, the creature repeats the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. Turn the Faithless, you can use your channel divinity to... So this is another thing channel divinities do a lot, is turning. Mm-hmm. That means fearing, like putting fear in somebody and giving them the frightened debuff. You can use your channel divinity to utter ancient words that are painful for fae and fiends to hear. So fae are like fairies, fiends are like demons and devils. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and each fae or fiend within 30 feet of you that can hear you must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage. Turned creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions. Oh, man. For this action, it can only use its dash action and try to escape from the effect that prevents it from moving. If the creature's true form is concealed by an illusion, shapeshifting, or other effect, that form is revealed while it is turned.
It's interesting. Like, you can tell that they still partially were like, this is kind of a religious class because you have a holy symbol.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, this is still early. I don't think holy symbols are brought up as much in, like, the newest stuff. Like, the player's handbook, they're like, hey, you have a holy symbol. Don't forget to use it. You have to use it here. Versus whenever you get into some later classes.
Fuck the gods.
God.
I mean, if you can do it, go for it. Zeus will He'll hit you up.
The aura at 7th level for this class is Aura of Warding. Ancient magic lies so heavily upon you that it forms an eldritch ward. You and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you have resistance to damage from spells.
It's so good.
It's so good.
So good.
It's really...
This is why you play the subclass.
Yeah, it's
to get this
wonderful.
ability.
Yeah, it increases to 30 feet at 18th level.
And 10 feet is plenty of good for all your melee people.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
one on each side
Also,
of it.
there's a lot of spells that are only that range anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Like 15 feet, basically.
yeah. Undying Sentinel, starting at 15th level, when you are reduced to 0 hit points, you are not killed outright. You can choose to drop to 1 hit point instead. Once you use this ability, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Additionally, you suffer none of the drawbacks from old age and can't be aged magically. At 20th level is your capstone. It's Elder Champion. It's this other like avatar thing that we had in the previous one. You can assume the form of an ancient force of nature, taking on an appearance you choose. For example, your skin might turn green or become bark-like. Your hair might become leafy or moss-like, and you might sprout antlers, which is cool. Who doesn't want antlers?
There's that. What's that Netflix show? The little boy has antlers. I can't remember the fucking name of it. They try to hunt him because he's different. I think. I haven't watched that much of
Who's
it.
in it?
It's not important.
It's not important.
I'll
It
look
is
it up.
important.
Sweet tooth
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, okay.
came to me like a fucking wet dream.
Using... Oh, God.
I think you mean you came because of the wet dream. No.
Alrighty then. Using your action, you undergo a transformation. For 1 minute, you gain the following benefits. At the start of each of your turns, you regain 10 hit points. Whenever you cast a paladin spell that has a casting time of 1 action, you can cast it as a bonus action instead. Enemy creatures within 10 feet of you have disadvantage on saving throws against your paladin spells and channel divinity options. It's just a really, really solid class. It's just...
Yeah, I feel like the capstone.
It's not even that complicated. It's pretty nice.
This capstone's not as good as Conquest. It's still not bad.
No,
But it has a way better aura.
Yeah,
the aura is
Agreed.
ridiculous.
I feel like you could go to 18 and then take a dip to get that 30-foot
Sure.
range, and then, I mean, I don't know many people that take a 2-level dip, but
Action surge.
A lot of people take a 2-level dip into this class.
yeah, I don't feel like it's necessary to get to level 20 in this one. You know what I mean? Like some people want to go, hey, let's go straight into
Meta magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we're not going to talk about it because it's unofficial, correct? Crowns? Is that one?
Crown is Sword Coast, I believe.
Is it? I didn't see it on. Oh,
yeah.
there it is. Okay, Crown is Sword Coast.
Oh,
We're not going to talk
the
about that one. If you guys know about it, you guys can say a little bit about it. But
It's still good. It's really tanky, but it's also the more boring subclass in this list.
Gotcha.
Even more boring than Devotion.
really, and then next up, we're not going to talk about this one either. This is Oath of the Open Sea.
Yeah. This is just playtest Mercer did for a specific character
Okay.
that only got used to, I don't know.
Like a
4 or
lot
5
of
levels.
like a lot of Mercer's stuff. It's really interesting. It
But
works a
usually
little-
mechanically weak. He
Yeah.
usually underpowers just so
Yeah.
they run a fucking Twitch show, so he doesn't want people to be like,
OP
oh my
as
god,
shit.
this
yeah.
is OP and broken.
Well, they're there to tell a story
Yeah, so
while
he
playing the
usually-
game and having fun. So it's not exactly
Well, like,
Theirs is more story based.
He'll usually, as he goes along, if he feels like it's underpowered, he will adjust it up.
Yeah. Make the change.
Yeah.
It is easier to adjust up than to adjust down.
his
sometimes.
classes are really good.
No, I don't think sometimes. I think it would always be easier to adjust up than down. Because if you have if you have someone, like if I'm playing and I'm doing really good, but I'm overpowered and you try to turn me down, I'm going to be like, well, no, I don't want to play this class.
That's easy. Just kill you and then change the rules.
I mean, yeah, that too.
That is that. That is the
I've
way.
done that.
All right. So next up, we have Oath of the Watchers. And I think we're actually back to the start. All three of us have talked about something now.
Yes,
you really
we have.
want this one, huh?
That's my favorite.
It's really good.
It's you. Really was.
It was. He didn't lie.
No fudge rolls this time.
Oath of the Watchers. Tenets of the Watchers.
That one was so robotic.
It was.
Well, that's
Tenets
all
of the
Watchers.
Watchers.
Yeah.
A paladin who assumes the Oath of the Watchers swears to safeguard mortal realms from otherworldly threats. Vigilance. The threats you face are cunning, powerful, and subversive. Be ever alert for their corruption. Loyalty. Never accept gifts or favors from fiends or those who truck with them. Interesting use of that word. Stay true to your order, your comrades, and your duty. Discipline. You are the shield against the endless terrors that lie beyond the stars. Your blade must be forever sharp, and your mind keen to survive what lies beyond.
This is really weird because our current campaign, we have a Watcher.
Yeah, who has literally been watching all this shit happen.
And that we literally
Has done
have like
nothing.
a fiendish warlock in the party who's like getting people to sign like demonic contracts and stuff.
Two fiendish warlocks, or well, not fiendish, but
Well, one first and then another one later. Yeah.
separate entities.
Yeah.
They have my favorite spell list. I think this is just hands down like just an excellent spell list to have. At 3rd level, you get Alarm and Detect Magic. At 5th level, you get Moonbeam and See Invisibility.
Oh, Moonbeam's so good.
At 9th level, you get Counterspell and Non-Detection. At 13th, you get Aura of Purity and Banishment. 17th, you get Hold Monster and Scrying.
It's just really good. It's really good. I love Moonbeam and Counterspell. So
Yeah, me and Ethan are definitely
good.
we love our counter spells. Your 2 channel divinity options are Watcher's Will and Abjure the Extraplanar. Watcher's Will. You can use your channel divinity to invest your presence with the warding bond of your faith. As an action, you can choose a number of creatures you can see within 30 feet of you up to a number equal to your charisma modifier. For 1 minute, you and the chosen creatures have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws.
That's
So good.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think our paladin has used it like once, maybe twice.
I know. Yeah, I know.
people afraid to use the channel divinities.
It's more of like it's just like this is something you'd really rather do before combat.
Yeah.
I don't know if you really want to do this in the middle of combat.
Yeah.
Waste your action. Abjure the extra.
Depends on how far you are too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're far enough that you get up there and you're like, it's not really a waste if I use it right now.
Yeah. Abjure the extraplanar. You can use your channel divinity to castigate unworldly beings. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and each aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, or fiend within 30 feet of you that can hear you must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature's turn for 1 minute, or until it takes damage. A turn creature must spend his turns trying to move as far away as possibly it can, and it can't willingly end its turn or move it into a space within 30 feet of you. For its action, it can only use the dash action, and if it has nowhere to move, it can use the dodge action instead.
I did not know that had so many different creature types in
It's
it.
almost...
It's all the like extra planar ones.
Yeah.
They are the Watchers.
Yeah, well, it's still, but like aberrations and celestials.
Yeah.
Wow.
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 Fucking hate us so much.
7th level, Aura of the Sentinel. You emit an aura of alertness while you aren't incapacitated. When you or any creature of your choice within 10 feet of you roll initiative, you gain a bonus to initiative equal to your proficiency bonus. That aura increases at 18th level to 30 feet.
That's really good.
It's so good.
I enjoy that thoroughly in our current
It
campaign.
is. It's really good.
So that one, if you take, which one gives you the bonus to your initiative roll?
Alert.
It's alert. So if you take alert, they also get that.
No.
No?
It's your proficiency bonus.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm an idiot.
You would get the extra.
I read that wrong. Never mind.
No, they don't get your initiative bonus as extra. They get your proficiency bonus as
Gotcha.
an extra to their initiative.
Gotcha.
Roll. Still really good.
Gotcha. I read that wrong. My bad.
At 15th level, you get Vigilant Rebuke. You've learned how to chastise anyone who dares wield beguilements against you and your wards. Whenever you or a creature you can see within 30 feet of you succeeds on an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma saving throw, you can use your reaction to deal 2d8 charisma 2d8 damage plus your charisma modifier and force damage to the creature that forced a saving throw.
All your brain cells went out the
It was
window
like my
after
brain.
beguilement.
That's my dyslexia really just like I was like, nope.
It's too bad you're not a watcher. You've been beguiled.
He got beguilements out, and then his brain shut off.
Big word, no do good. Mortal Bulwark. You manifest a spark of divine power in defense of the mortal realms. As a bonus action, you gain the following benefits for 1 minute. You have true sight out to a range of 120 feet. Shit. You have advantage on attack rolls against aberrations, celestials, elementals, fays, and fiends. And you can hit, or when you hit a creature with an attack roll and deal damage to it, you can also force it to make a charisma saving throw against your spell DC. On a failed save, the creature is magically banished to its native plane of existence if it's currently not there. On a successful save, the creature can't be banished by this effect for 24 hours.
That's a really good capstone, and I hope the microphone picked up Ethan saying shit under his breath.
Well, 120 feet's a long
That's
way.
a long fucking...
Hang on. There's something else. Once you use this bonus action, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Unless you expend a 5th level spell slot to use it again.
That's fucking good.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the only one that gets to use their thing
Spells
again.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And how many 5th levels do you get? 2 at level 20. Well, technically at level 19, but...
Wow, that's like 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah. I did the math.
Ask my wife. It's a long time.
No, it ain't.
You put her on top. 3 minutes is a long time.
Did you call your wife fat?
No. I'm saying she gets tired.
Oh, okay.
You put a woman on top, they give you 3 good pumps, and then that fucking check engine light on the knees come on.
D&D, boys. D&D. Let's get back to it. The next one.
Chaotically nerdy.
That's the exact opposite
this
of
is
what
the-
nerds do.
This is the chaos part.
That is chaos.
More chaos, less nerd.
Oath of Vengeance.
Yeah, let's go on.
This is also from the player's handbook. It's me. So, Oath of Vengeance.
Vengeance.
The tenets of vengeance.
I liked it.
So the tenets of the Oath of Vengeance vary by paladin, but all the tenets revolve around punishing wrongdoers by any means necessary. I can't see because I have tears in my eyes. Paladins who uphold these tenets are willing to sacrifice even their own righteousness to... Is that meat? M-E-T-E.
Mete out justice.
Okay.
To meet up.
That doesn't seem right, but...
Yeah.
To mete out justice upon those who do evil. So the paladins are often neutral or lawful neutral in alignment. The core principles of the tenets are brutally simple. Fight the greater evil. Faced with a choice of fighting my sworn foes or combating a lesser evil, I choose the greater evil. Which is oddly worded. No mercy for the wicked. Ordinary foes might win my mercy, but my sworn enemies do not. By any means necessary, my qualms can't get in the way of exterminating my foes. Restitution. If my foes wreak ruin on the world, it is because I failed to stop them. I must help those harmed by their misdeeds. So at 3rd level, you get the Channel Divinities. They get Abjure Enemy and Vow of Enmity. Yours is in a different order.
Oh.
It happened earlier while you were reading it. You read the spells first, and I had to scroll down to go back up.
Oh, okay.
So, Abjure Enemy. As an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer of denunciation. Using your channel divinity, choose one creature within 60 feet of you that you can see. That creature must make a wisdom saving throw unless it is immune to being frightened. Fiends and undead have disadvantage on the saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is frightened for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. While frightened, the creature's speed is 0 and it can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. On a successful save, the creature's speed is halved for 1 minute or until the creature takes any damage. That's really good because they still get slowed either way. For Vow of Enmity, I feel like
did you read the successful save part of that?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't.
As a bonus action, you can utter a vow of enmity against a creature you can see within 10 feet of you using your channel divinity. You gain advantage on attack rolls against the creature for 1 minute or until it drops to 0 hit points or falls unconscious. I feel like that's good, but I feel like the other one's better.
You know what it's really good? No, you know what it's really good for? A rogue.
Yeah. Sure enough.
Bam.
Now onto the oath spells. At 3rd level, you get Bane and Hunter's Mark. At 5th level, you get Hold Person and Misty Step. At 9th level, you get Haste and Protection from Energy. At 13th level, you get Banishment and Dimension Door. And at 17th level, you get Hold Monster and Scrying. Those are all, I mean, I like those spells for this class.
It's really good. They're super good.
Yeah. They're all about damage to a degree.
Or mobility.
Damage.
Yeah. Which helps with the damage, because if you get somewhere, you can do some more damage.
I like that.
At 7th level, you get Relentless Avenger. Your supernatural focus helps you close off a foe's retreat. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, you can move up to half your speed immediately after the attack, and as part of the same reaction. This movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. That's situational. Do they not get an aura?
When you need it, it's
No,
really
they don't
good.
get an aura. They're the only one that doesn't get an aura.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Soul of Vengeance. At 15th level, the authority with which you speak, your vow of enmity, gives you greater power over your foe. When a creature under the effect of your vow of enmity makes an attack, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against that creature if it is within range. It's good. It's not bad. At 20th level, your capstone, you get Avenging Angel. You can assume the form of an angelic avenger. Using your reaction, you undergo a transformation for 1 hour. You gain the following benefits. Wings sprout from your back and grant you a flying speed of 60 feet. You emanate an aura of menace in a 30-foot radius. The first time any enemy creature enters the aura or starts a turn in there during these battles, the creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become frightened of you for 1 minute or until it takes damage. Attack rolls against the frightened creature have advantage. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until a long rest.
That's an hour.
That's where the aura comes in.
Yeah.
So they took away the aura, gave you a longer period where you get it.
It's good.
It's good. It's not.
It's more of a dipper than to me. Like, this is the one you take a dip in.
Yeah.
I like it for that. Like you said, Rogue.
Rogue,
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
Vow of Enmity, and
Get
then
your
Hunter's
channel.
Mark.
Yeah.
Oh man, like a ranged Rogue. Yeah. It'd be really, really, really good. I refuse to use it though, because this is essentially the class that what's his name, Wesley Crusher,
What?
used in the Acquisitions Incorporated.
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. The character name.
I can't remember.
He fell in a
either.
pit of acid.
Good. Good.
Okay. And last, but certainly not least, is Oathbreaker. And that, Ethan.
Am I actually talking about it, or just gonna?
No,
Okay.
we were actually going to talk about it.
Oh, we are.
Because this is the one where if you don't follow your tenants and your DM is a stickler for that, they may make you switch to this class.
You can also start out of this.
You can.
And it's not terrible.
Nope.
No, it's not. So Oathbreaker has a special kind of place in the
from the
Paladin
dungeon.
order.
Yeah, it's from the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yeah. So Oathbreaker is a paladin who breaks their sacred oath to pursue some dark ambition or serve an evil power. Whatever light burned in the paladin's heart has been extinguished. Only darkness remains. But they do have oath spells and channel divinities somehow. Their channel divinities, I'll go with your order here, make it easier for you. Control Undead is your first channel divinity. As an action, you target one undead creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target must obey your commands for the next 24 hours or until you use this channel divinity option again. An undead whose challenge rating is equal to or greater than your paladin level is immune to this effect. Your second option is Dreadful Aspect. As an action, you channel the darkness, the darkest emotion, and focus them into a burst of magical menace. Each creature of your choice within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw if it can see you. On a failed save, the target is frightened of you for 1 minute. If a creature frightened by this effect ends its turn more than 30 feet away from you, it can attempt another wisdom saving throw to end this effect. The oath spells that you get with this Oathbreaker, strange to say. At third level, you get Hellish Rebuke and Inflict Wounds. 5th level, you get Crown of Madness and Darkness. 9th level, Animate Dead and Bestow Curse. 13th level, you receive Blight and Confusion. 17th is Contagion and Dominate Person. It's a good list.
It's a good list.
It's solid.
It's good. It's got dumb.
Like I said, it seems like for
Animated.
Paladin, all of the oaths, like their spells, match up with what the theme of the class is. I would say better than Cleric does.
Yeah, definitely. At 7th level, you get Aura of Hate. You, as well as any fiends and undead within 10 feet of you, gain a bonus to melee weapon damage rolls equal to your charisma modifier. A creature can benefit from this feature from only one paladin at a time. At 18th level, this increases to a 30-foot radius. Supernatural resistance. At 15th level, you gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical weapons. And the capstone is Dreadlord. You can, as an action, surround yourself with an aura of gloom that lasts for 1 minute. The aura reduces any bright light within 30 feet radius around you to dim light. Whenever an enemy that is frightened by you starts its turn within the aura, it takes 4d10 psychic damage. Additionally, you and any creature of your choosing in the aura are draped in deeper shadow. Creatures that rely on sight have disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures draped in this shadow. While the aura lasts, you can use a bonus action on your turn to cause the shadows in the aura to attack one creature. Make a melee spell attack against the target. If the attack hits, the target takes necrotic damage equal to 3d10 plus your charisma modifier. You can't use this again until you finish a long rest.
Very good.
It is good. It's in the Dungeon Master Guide because it's meant as a evil class.
It's almost more supposed to be like a NPC you're supposed to fight.
Because obviously your aura doesn't give, or your subclass aura doesn't give any help to any of your party members unless they're fiends for whatever. Or undead for whatever fucking reason. I don't think there's any races that let you technically count as...
Especially by the time you get to like 15th level, if all your party aren't already undead minions of yours, you've done it wrong.
Fair enough. I'll allow it. So back to like how we did a little bit ago on the monk episode. What do you think is the best? I know what you think is the best because you're going to say it. And what's good for a dip?
Well,
any of them are good for a dip, really.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Paladin in general, just a good dip.
Good at dipping.
Yeah. I'll agree with that.
Don't.
Dip. Just enough to give you a little extra damage.
Mm-hmm.
You went first last time. Why don't you go?
I'll do it again. I don't give a shit.
You know what his answer is.
Yeah, it's Oath of the Watchers. I love that. Ever since it came out, I loved it. Before that, it was Ancients. Now it's Oath of the Watchers.
I'm still a Conquest person.
It's also really good.
I really like Conquest and Ancients still. And then dipping, of course, is...
Any of them.
Vengeance, mostly.
Yeah.
Just because you're getting a really front-loaded thing.
Yeah. I like the Oathbreaker. That's probably my favorite. I like the idea of not having to be constrained by the oath, which is odd because at the start of this I was like, it's really good for if
You're
you
like you're like the genie on Aladdin.
Yeah.
It's unlimited power. Itty bitty live in space.
basically. All right, so now we get to bring into the question. So we may have some arguments about whether or not these people are paladins or not.
Yeah.
Because that comes up. This one is from Dungeon Loot Armory. So we have Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones. I feel like partially paladin, partially not. Like it's hard to say because she doesn't really. Either way, Peter from Narnia, and then you have Arthas from WoW, or Lady Kima from Critical Role.
Arthas.
I agree.
Every time he's too
that's
powerful.
probably
He's
Arthas.
really good.
I feel like the WoW ones are going to be the strongest.
Yeah, it's because fucking WoW's dumb.
He's also the big bad.
First of all,
I mean, like, dumb isn't like the power level's dumb and it's like bonkers.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
that is true. All right.
I would definitely argue Brienne is a paladin. She's like an Oath of Devotion paladin.
Definitely.
She's devoted,
Yeah.
She is devoted to her cause.
Yeah, I can see that.
Peter's a child. No.
You saying children can't be paladins?
They
Yes.
can.
The next time we play together, I'm making a fucking child, and it will be a paladin.
I am too. I'm gonna make like a cleric of peace.
It's just a little kid running around.
No, I'm gonna be like a teenager.
I love it.
Yeah. Be so earnest and like helpful. and just
get-
Willikers?
I'm gonna wait until some other person in the party kills me for being too nice.
I don't think that'll happen.
I'm not gonna
I
fight
think
anybody.
it will be like it's going to be one of those situations that we're going to go, we should fucking kill this kid, and then we're going to go, but he's a kid and he's so fucking nice, we can't. You know what I mean?
Like behind his back, like trying to like.
You know the
mimicking choking
scenes
him?
where
Yeah.
people are like standing over somebody with a knife while they're sleeping, and then they just back out and they're like, no, I shouldn't.
Can't do it.
That's the whole party every night,
Yeah.
just at different hour intervals. One of us wakes up at midnight. God, he's just a kid.
This motherfucker.
Can't do it.
What did you say?
This motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
Motherfucker.
Thought you said this Smurf fucker.
On that note, with the Smurf fucking out of the way, I think we need to wrap this one up. As always, you can find links to our Discord and Facebook page after the Smurf fucking comment. You probably don't want to find links to either one. You can find them, though, at anchor.fm/chaotically nerdy. We appreciate you guys listening. We hope that you stay for another episode. Again, I don't blame you if you don't, because we just brought up Smurf fucking. And we will cross our fingers and hope you catch us on the next one.